Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great Wednesday so far, and as well as a great start to your day. And today is January 29th, 2025, and in today's forecast, we're going to be talking about some more storm systems that are going to be rolling on through the United States as we get into the next couple of weeks. And this February is looking a lot more concerning now that we're going to be watching some more storm systems, one of which could possibly be a winter storm. We could even be tracking more in the way of severe weather, and of course we could even be seeing that heavy rainfall, which I think is going to be the biggest concern, as much of the eastern United States will be trending above normal. So we will need to be watching it very closely, as a lot of impacts are definitely looking likely as we get into the couple first weeks of our February. But if you are new here to the YouTube channel, or if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to go down below and support this channel by clicking that subscribe button and like button down below. And I really am hoping to go live later today, as Texas is still under the gun for possibly some severe storms. So consider doing that so that way you guys don't miss out on it, and I really do appreciate it. But let's first start off by going over the SPC outlooks. And as you guys can see, for today, we do have a marginal risk for severe weather across parts there of Texas, which once again, that's why I am gonna plan on going live sometime later today when I got some time to. That will probably be like late afternoon, maybe even as late as the early evening hours, depending on my schedule. But I will likely go live sometime today, so consider clicking that notification bell so that way you guys don't miss out on it. But we do have that marginal risk heading anywhere from areas around and north of San Antonio all the way up there into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And the main concern for today is going to be that risk for large hail, as we do have a pretty big 5% chance for large hail across a pretty good portion there of central and northern Texas. Tornado threat appears to be on the lower side of things, but I still wouldn't rule out a brief tornado or two. So still make sure you are paying attention and having your tornado action plan in place just in case, as we still could see a brief tornado or two develop. And we could also be seeing some damaging winds of anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour across some of these areas today. So main concern for today is going to be that chance for large hail, as it covers a pretty good portion of Texas, but we still can't roll out some damaging winds between 50 to 60 miles per hour, and we still can't roll out a brief spin up tornado or two. So still consider having our tornado action plan in place just in case, as we still could see a brief tornado. Now, as we take a look at tomorrow's threat, we do have a marginal risk for severe weather just around that site risk area, as you can see. And the main concerns for tomorrow won't only be this wind threat that I'm showing right now, but for the tornado threat, we do have a 5% risk for tornadoes anywhere from southeast Texas all the way up there into parts there of western Mississippi, where a few tornadoes does appear to be possible. Some may be a little bit on the stronger side of things, so you should definitely be paying attention if you are shaded in this brown color, because tomorrow we could be seeing the potential for even some large hail as well, which doesn't really appear to be the main concern, but we could still be seeing some large hail, like I said. So the best thing to do is to have your tornado action plan in place just in case, as winds between 50 to 60 miles per hour are looking likely, and a few tornadoes does also appear to be possible. But once again, we still can't roll out some large hail of around 1 inch in diameter or greater. And the greatest chance of me going live will obviously be tomorrow, as the threat is the highest, but I am going to have a very busy schedule tomorrow, so it's still a maybe. But if I do have time to go live tomorrow, I definitely will. So consider clicking that notification button so that way you guys don't miss out on a potential live stream. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the excessive rainfall outlook. Starting off with today, even though the threat for severe weather is marginal. We do have a slight risk for flash flooding, which is actually looking to be the main concern for today, as places like eastern Oklahoma and even parts there of northern Texas, including the Dallas-Fort Worth area, will be under the gun for some potential rainfall. So we will need to be watching this very closely, as anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain is definitely looking likely across these areas. And same as we get into tomorrow, but look how much more that slight risk for flash flooding expands. We're talking areas anywhere from the Dallas-Fort Worth area all the way up there into the lower Ohio Valley potentially, guys. This is going to be a huge slight risk. And keep in mind that we have not seen a slight risk for flash flooding in quite some time. I think the last time we seen one was back in May. Not back in May, but back in November. I think it was back in November when we seen that slight risk for flash flooding. So it's obviously been a while, guys, since we've really seen something like this before. And if you are going to be driving on the roadways on Thursday, which will be tomorrow, make sure to use extreme caution if you must drive out there. Otherwise, you probably shouldn't try to be on the roadways at all, as there could definitely be some minor to moderate flooding on some of those roadways, especially those low-lying poor drainage areas. And then as we get into day 3, which will be for your Friday, most of that thankfully is out of the central and eastern United States, but we will still be seeing that along the west coast. Now, let's talk about what really appears to be concerning by first taking a look at the future radar. And as you guys can see, we will be tracking some pretty good rainfall and severe storms down there in Texas into Louisiana, while this northern part of that storm is not looking to bring anything severe, but it could still bring a couple rumbles of thunder, as we do see some of those lightning strikes potentially getting a little farther to the north. As you can see, that we do see a little bit of green, maybe even some yellow colors popping up in some areas. And once again, it doesn't appear to be anything significant, but I definitely do think we could be seeing some pop-up isolated thunderstorms a little farther to the north, as those energy values are going to be a little bit on the higher side of things as you get farther north, and that could definitely bring some rumbles of thunder. But once again, nothing severe expected up here in the Ohio Valley as we get into Thursday and Friday of this week. And then after that, we will be tracking maybe some more winter storms rolling on through, which this one could bring some sleet, freezing rain, and perhaps even some heavy snowfall to parts there of the Ohio Valley, while on the southern side of that system, especially areas south of Indianapolis, we could be seeing the potential for some rain, possibly even some rumbles of thunder. But as of right now, though, it's not really looking certain, as we are still heading over a week out from now. But I definitely do think we will need to keep an eye on this, as another winter storm may be possible. And then after that, it's obviously going to remain very uncertain, but we could still very well be seeing some more winter storms, perhaps even some more severe storms rolling on through as we get into the first couple weeks of February. So now is a good time to be keeping an eye on the weather, as some very active weather is likely to be rolling on through. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Climate Prediction Center outlook, starting off with the 8 to or the 6 to 10 day outlook. And as you guys can see, 6 to 10 day outlook, we're likely going to be trending above normal during the first week of February, and same goes across the north, where we will likely be trending below normal. So this is going to be an area to really keep an eye on, as well above normal temperatures are likely the farther down south you go, and well below normal temperatures are likely the farther north you go, especially where you see that purple color. We will still continue to trend below normal by the time we get a little bit later into February, but we will likely even still be trending above normal even across the south. So it's still going to be kind of the same as we get a little later in the February, but overall we will likely be trending well above normal across the south and well below normal across the north. So that's kind of how we're going to be playing out. And then then for precipitation, starting off with the 6 to 10 day outlook for precipitation, we are expecting a pretty wild jet stream that will likely be starting in the northwest, continuing on down across the lower Ohio Valley, and then eventually heading out like this. This is kind of how we're expecting the jet stream to be, and this is gonna be because we're gonna be staying a little bit drier down here in the deep south near normal to slightly below normal. Precipitation is definitely looking possible, which means we will likely be seeing less storm systems rolling on through this area. So that's just kind of how it's gonna be as we get into the first week of February, and same goes as we get into the second week of February. Maybe some storm system working its way a little farther down south, but still remains about the same. So it will definitely be very interesting to see how this system does play out. But as of right now, though, it's still going to be a little hard to tell exactly how everything will play out. But the least we can say is that we will be seeing a very active February around the corner with lots of storm systems rolling on through, as we will likely be trending well above normal. Now, the final things that we're going to look at is going to be your total rain and also your total snowfall. Starting off with your total rainfall, as you can see with the European Mall, we will likely be trending above normal across parts there of the Texas area, all the way up there into the lower Ohio Valley, as anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain does appear possible. And then by the time we get that second storm system rolling on through, we could definitely be seeing some more precipitation even as we get into the middle of our February. So we will need to be watching a lot of the eastern United States very closely, and this is because the National Weather Service is showing that we could be seeing anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rainfall across Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, maybe even parts there of Ohio, West Virginia, Tennessee, Mississippi. All those areas are likely going to be seeing anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rainfall as we get into the next few days, where, like we said earlier in this video, we will be tracking not only severe weather down there in Texas, but that big corridor that could be seeing the potential for flash flooding. So we will definitely need to be keeping an eye on that very closely. And then for your total snowfall, let's go ahead and look at the GFS model for that part. With your total snowfall, we are going to be tracking some very high snowfall totals out there in the Rocky Mountains, where cold air is going to return. And then over here out in the northern United States, this is where we're likely going to have the highest potential for winter storms rolling on through. I'm not really sure why the GFS model is showing maybe a little strip there of anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of snow, which is, not really looking like it's even going to happen as we were at the very end of the mall run. But I think the northern United States and the Rocky Mountains especially is going to be the area to watch for the snowfall potential. Otherwise, most of the United States is likely to be in the clear. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's forecast. Consider subscribing to the channel, as we will continue to keep you guys up to date with the latest, and so that way we can try to reach 2,000 subscribers before spring, which I would really be happy about that if we could. So consider doing those things so that way you guys also don't miss out on any future weather videos or live streams that we do on this channel, including a potential live stream that we may do on Thursday, but only if I have time for it. Like I said, I'm not really sure about it just yet, but if I do have time, I will indeed try to go live. So consider doing that so that way you guys don't miss out on it. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Wednesday out there, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.